What's up, people? Welcome to Good Grilling with Grill Grillburn, and I'm your host, Grill Grillburn. So, got some chicken marinating, and Gracie is already pulling the assist, cleaning off the grill. Coming right up. I'll show you what we're going to do with it. All right, guys. So Gracie's finished cleaning the grill. We got Joe Walsh and the James gang on the vinyl, spinning the vinyl from 1971 live. This concert was recorded 2 years after I was born. Do that math. Yeah, I'm an old F. Anyhow, I didn't do much to these small cuts of chicken tenderloins. Since they are small cuts, I just put some salt and pepper on them and marinated them just for a couple of hours in this Cayman Jack margarita malted beverage. Now, I have to admit that this is my first time consuming the Cayman Jack, but I did a little research today, and apparently they also make a skinny version, which is not available in my supermarket, a mojito, and also a mule. So I'm only a couple in, but I'm pretty impressed. It's definitely going to be a summer go-to beverage for me. So again, I didn't do much in terms of spicing up this chicken, and you'll find out why coming right up. Just a little salt and pepper and Cayman Jack margarita 5.8er. All right, guys, so apologies that I'm not really giving you many grilling tips in this episode. All I can say is that when you're cooking chicken tenders, that you probably need to flip them about the time that the Live at Joe Walsh album ends, side A and B. And then we put on a little Led Zeppelin, spinning that right now. This album was actually released 51 days before the birth date of Titus. So I've just flipped those. Got a little uneven heat going on, so I'm gonna have to kind of rearrange these as we move forward. You can see some are a little bit undercooked, some are perfect. And that's just because the ones that are perfect were right around the edge of the drum smoker here. So they got a little bit more, not direct heat, but less indirect heat, I guess I should say. You also see that I've got an abused iron skillet on deck here. Picked this up at an antique shop about a year ago, and whoever owned it previously didn't do a good job of taking care of it, but I'm going to bring it back into shape. So, finish the cook, coming right up. Hey everyone, so before I finish the cook, just wanted to throw in a little tangential information here. If you're gonna get cast iron, highly recommend getting it from Lodge. Lodge cast iron. Number one, it's from the great state of Tennessee. Small town called Pittsburgh. No, not home of the Steelers, but Pittsburgh, specifically South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, which probably about 45-minute drive. It is west of Chattanooga, but they have a couple of outlets. If you're ever visiting the Great Smoky Mountains, they've got an outlet where you can purchase their gear, so to speak. They're cooking, and they've got quite a lot of them. It's not just cast iron skillets like I'm going to use here. In a future video, I'm going to show you a cast iron campfire grill that I bought from them, which is really awesome. So in any event, the thing about cast iron, if you're inexperienced, I said this one has been abused. It hasn't been seasoned very well, but that's no problem. You just scour it, and this is the same if it starts rusting on you. Just scour it with like a Brillo pad, steel wool, and then it's very important that you put some vegetable oil in it. Spread that around. And it's called seasoning, right? So some of these, actually Lodge does this as well. Sometimes they will advertise a pre-seasoned cast iron skillet, and it's still important, I think, in my opinion, my experience, to go ahead and season it again. And that just means rubbing it just like pretend like you were washing it in the sink. And by the way, you can use a little bit of soap. I typically don't, but just a little bit of soap or none is fine. Rinse that out, scour it out, and then rub it with vegetable oil. Put it in the oven, anywhere around 450 to 500. 475 right in the middle, for about an hour. And you might have to do that a couple of times. And what will happen each time you use it, if you just clean it out and put that coat of vegetable oil on there, then over time it will become basically like a non-stick surface, and it'll last a lifetime. But it is important to put that oil on there after every use. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it again, coming right up. All right, guys, so finally time for the big reveal. You may have already guessed it, but yeah, I'm going to do my version, one of my many versions of a birria taco. Yes, I could roll my R's. I was the president of the Spanish Club in 1987. Birria tacos. Comes from the state of Jalisco, Mexico. Traditionally, basically a beef stew or a goat stew. I use goat meat and sometimes beef. And that's really the hardest part. It's sometimes referred to as a consomme. And I worked really long and hard on this particular consomme. Not really. I just went to my boy Stubbs, jalapeno and honey barbecue sauce. Freaking awesome. So that's my birria sauce. And then all you're gonna do here to make this taco, let me move some things around. Hopefully that won't melt. We're actually going to dip this low carb tortilla, because we are always carb conscious, at the Froggy Top Grill, both sides. And then I'm just going to use my fingers because I'm going to be the one eating it. I'm going to, oh, I almost forgot something. I need to put a little oil in that cast iron. So I took my heat deflector out, put the cast iron on top of there, and I've got some Serrano infused olive oil. Put that in there for a little added heat. Then I'll put my double dipped tortilla right on top of there. I diced up my chicken. I should say I pulled my chicken apart with the tools that the higher power gave me, my digits. That's all you need for this. Apologies if you lost yours in an industrial accident. And then I'm going to put on some cheese. I recommend anything like a Monterey Jack, anything that says queso cheese is really appropriate. You don't want anything really strong here that's going to take away from the flavor. As I say, that with just about, well, with everything that I smoke, the smoke is the flavor. So we got enough spiciness going on with the Serrano infused olive oil, the Stubbs jalapeno and honey barbecue sauce, and my skillet's probably not hot enough to do it justice right now. I can always move this to the stove top if I need to, but you get the idea. Once it gets good and heated up, then I'm going to basically just flip over one side of that tortilla, and it's kind of, I look at it as a cross between a taco and a quesadilla. But anyway, you fold it, it's good eating, folks. So if you hung around this long, I appreciate it. As always, gas is great for heating homes, charcoal for smoking your meat. Cheers, everybody.